Why do humans cry? It's something so universal, yet so uniquely human. Babies cry when they're hungry. Adults cry when they're moved by a beautiful piece of music, overwhelmed by joy, or devastated by loss. But have you ever really stopped to think about what crying actually is, and why we do it? Buckle up. You're about to take a deep dive into the mysterious and multifaceted world of human tears. And trust me, by the end of this journey, you'll never look at a tear the same way again. So, let's start with the basics. Tears are not just salty water. They are a complex cocktail of salt, water, and organic substances like proteins, enzymes, and lipids. Interestingly, there are three types of tears: basal, reflex, and emotional. Basal tears are ever-present, silently maintaining your eyes' moisture and fighting off bacterial threats. Reflex tears, on the other hand, spring into action when you're slicing onions or encountering irritants like smoke. These defensive drops contain slightly different proteins to flush irritants away from your eyes. Then we have the main star of our topic: emotional tears. These tears are unique to humans and seem to serve an entirely different purpose, tied intricately to our emotional and psychological state. But let's dive deeper into emotional tears, shall we? Emotional tears have a different chemical makeup compared to basal and reflex tears. They contain stress hormones like corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH, prolactin, and even endorphins. It seems like emotional tears might actually help your body release stress. But there's more to the story. Scientists believe that emotional tears also serve a social function. Anthropologists theorize that crying acts as a nonverbal communication tool, an outward signal to those around us that we need care, comfort, or support. Imagine this for a moment. You're overwhelmed with grief and you cry. The act itself puts you in a position of vulnerability, inviting others to provide a sense of belonging and reassurance. Okay, so crying relieves physical stress and helps with social bonding. But how does it begin? It all starts in the brain, in the limbic system to be precise. This ancient part of the brain governs emotions, and when sufficiently stimulated, triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling your lacrimal tear glands to get to work. Evolutionary psychology presents an interesting puzzle here. If crying makes us vulnerable, why would it have evolved at all? One hypothesis suggests that emotional tears have a unique role in group survival, reinforcing bonds and encouraging altruism. Psychologists have found that when people see others crying, they are more likely to feel empathy, an emotion that ties groups together and strengthens social networks. Imagine human history without these bonds. It's safe to say civilization wouldn't have progressed the way it has. Interestingly, the ability to cry varies greatly from person to person. While some people can shed tears at the mere sight of a heartwarming video, others find it challenging to cry, even in deeply emotional moments. Some anthropologists suggest varying cultural norms might regulate this, but researchers are also exploring genetic and hormonal factors. Speaking of hormones, prolactin plays a fascinating role in crying. Women tend to cry more than men, and one reason could be the higher level of prolactin in their bodies. Prolactin isn't just a stress hormone. It also regulates milk production in nursing mothers, perhaps hinting at a close relationship between heightened emotion and caregiving processes. Isn't that incredible? Now let's talk about crying and health. Crying isn't just emotionally cathartic. It plays a crucial role in psychological balance. And guess what? Studies show that crying can help regulate your mood and even reduce pain. Emotional tears, in particular, are laden with leucine enkephalin, an endorphin that has natural pain-relieving properties. Imagine tears as your body's natural painkiller and emotional detox mechanism. One Japanese study even found that tears can elevate mood for days, often referred to as the tear effect. Wait, what about the tears we shed during happiness? That smile through tears phenomenon is equally fascinating. Scientists believe that crying in positive emotional states helps us deal with overwhelming feelings, grounding us in the present and restoring emotional balance. Happy crying, just like sad crying, can deepen human connection, reminding us of our shared capacity for feeling. All right, let's pivot to a fun side note. Did you know that not all human cultures interpret crying the same way? In some societies, crying openly, even in public, is embraced. It's seen as a sign of humanity and emotional depth. Meanwhile, other cultures associate tears with weakness, particularly for men. Fascinatingly, researchers are challenging these stereotypes. They argue that crying is an evolved behavior and denying it might do more harm than good. For anyone who feels awkward after shedding a few tears in public, just remember, you're partaking in a deeply human and, dare I say, noble phenomenon. Sometimes we also cry from frustration or anger, and that leads us to a quirky detail. Tears triggered by different emotions are chemically distinguishable under a microscope. That means an angry tear is compositionally distinct from a tear of joy. And here's the kicker. Scientists are only scratching the surface of understanding these patterns. Maybe one day we'll even have tear-reading machines that analyze your mood or health simply by examining your tears. Science fiction? Not necessarily. But not everyone cries equally. A small percentage of people have a condition called alacrima, a reduced or complete inability to produce tears. For them, living without the relief of crying can have deep psychological ramifications. And here's a surprising twist. Some animals exhibit behaviors resembling crying, such as elephants and certain species of dolphins. However, it's still unclear whether their tears serve a biological or emotional function, or both. It makes you wonder, are we humans observing similar phenomena in the animal kingdom, but interpreting it through a uniquely human lens? Fascinating, isn't it? Lastly, crying in modern media brings another layer of curiosity. Why do we cry during TV dramas, sad songs, or gripping novels? Scientists refer to this phenomenon as vicarious crying or borrowed tears. It seems watching someone else's emotional journey can strike a chord deeper within us, offering a safe outlet to explore our own feelings. Neuroscience indicates that our mirror neurons fire up when we witness others' emotional expressions, allowing us to empathize. It's almost like living their emotions as our own. So, the next time you wipe away a tear during a heartfelt movie montage, blame it on your incredibly empathetic brain. And there you have it, the incredible multifaceted world of crying. From its biochemical stress relief properties and its role in social bonding, to its evolutionary purpose and cultural interpretations, every tear tells a story. Though we may take it for granted, crying is one of the most emotionally potent and physically beneficial behaviors we have. It's not just about releasing emotional pressure or seeking attention. It's about bridging the gaps between individuals, grounding ourselves in moments both joyous and sorrowful, and maintaining our mental and physical equilibrium. So, the next time tears well up in your eyes, embrace them. They're a testament to the rich tapestry of human experience. Until next time, keep asking the why behind the mysteries of life. See you in the next episode of Why Facts.